If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Police are investigating a double murder this morning.
James Broadnax was 19 years old when he and his cousin Demarius Cummings robbed and killed Stephen Swan and Matthew Butler outside a Garland Christian recording studio in 2008. Both were convicted of capital murder. Cummings got a life sentence. Broadnax got the death penalty. In an interview with me just days after his arrest, Broadnax bragged about being the shooter.
I needed money. I needed a car.
He showed no remorse.
You have no remorse that you took 2 lives and killed these men who had families and wives and loved ones that cared about him and were good Christian guys? You don't care?
Do it look like I got remorse?
In a separate interview, Cummings told me Broadnax was also the shooter. He says the men were out to rob someone that night. They realized after the killings, the victims had only $2 in their wallets combined.
Like, man, just $2. You know, I said the same thing, $2. Over $2.
You know what I'm saying? We just
From jail, James Broadnax and Demarius Dwight Cummings talk about what happened last week when they killed Matthew Butler and Stephen Swan outside a Garland recording studio.
The chopper was too big to rob somebody with, so we had one that got the pistol.
The two trading an AK-47 for a handgun before taking the dart from South Dallas to Garland.
I decided to go hit a lick, you know what I'm saying? And one of the best spots is Garland, because that's where all the rich white folks stay at, you know what I'm saying? So got caught him up slipping, she ain't popped it. That's what it is.
Without as much as a blink, James Broadnax talks about how he took 2 lives.
Blank out, you know what I'm saying? I shot him, like stumbled back, shot the driver. He hit the ground, you know what I'm saying? But he like leaned up like he was finna try to get back up. So I shot him in the head. Then his homeboy, I shot his again, you know what I'm saying? But he was still trying to run off. But I knew he was gonna die anyway, but just to make sure, pop, shot his like, you know what I'm saying, twice in the head or whatever. Me and my kinfolks ran their pockets, you know what I'm saying? He jumped in the driver's seat, I jumped on passenger side, and we dipped out.
How much money did you guys get?
No, he had $2 in his wallet, you know what I'm saying?
Cold-blooded demonstration. $2. $2. 8 quarters. 20 dimes. 200 pennies. $2 for the rest of your life in the penitentiary, and for another brother who's looking at the death penalty, April 26th? April 30th, 2026 to be exact. His life is on the line, you know, and all over $2 because they wanted to go hit a lick. And in the process of hitting that lick, they killed the 2 people. And listen, these ain't just no regular people. And the reason why I say that is because these was Christian music producers. Yeah, that put a little bit more on it. You know, I mean, regardless of, you know, people might want to say that they were just human beings and all that. No, in the eyes of that jury, in the eyes of that judge, and we are in a predominant Christian country, yeah, that means a lot. You know, you lay up here, you a criminal, dirtbag, scumbag. Not only that, y'all black, and y'all go kill some good white Christian folks. Nah, you can't get in Texas. Nah, like everything they did was wrong. Everything in Texas. Nah. So now, the decision making that these young boys made at 19 years old is costing James his life and his cousin the rest of his life in the penitentiary. Look, y'all, for you young brothers out there, you know, I know how the game go. I know you're bored. Sometimes you need some excitement in your life, and you decide, say, hey man, let's go rob something. And then you end up killing something. And now you got life in the penitentiary and your cousin looking at the death penalty. You see, do something more constructive with your time. And the reason why I say that is this right here. You know, I was once young and, you know, we was wild. We used to do little dumb stuff. You know, we used to do dumb stuff. And in this situation right here, the dumb stuff that they did is costing them their lives. And this happens all the time. So when you get bored and you need something to do, go find something constructive to do, not destructive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Find something constructive to do, not destructive. Because as you can see and as we can learn from these two 19-year-old boys, or was 19-year-old boys when the murders happened, that listen, decisions can cost you your life. Decisions can cost you your death. You see what I'm saying? Then they both have the audacity to get on multiple news platforms and give a full-blown confession about two people that they done killed, as if they didn't do nothing. Like it's just, hey, this regular programming. We 19 years old, we running around killing folks. And ain't nothing gonna happen to us. No, not in Texas. Yeah, they gonna kill you down there in Texas, one way or another. So I know y'all wondering, hood educated, how did they get caught? Well, something that's finna blow a lot of y'all mind. The family. Not the family of the victims, the two Christian music producers, not them. Their family. James and his cousin. Yeah, they families contacted the police and say, hey man, these boys done killed two people. Because one of the boys run up in the house bragging about that he done hit a lick. And told his auntie, hey, look, this is what we done did. Here go the man ID right here. We done killed two of them. Shot both of them, and they ain't had nothing but $2. And the auntie, she couldn't hold that type of water. She contacted the police and say, hey, no, look, this what's going on. My nephew just came in here and said that they just committed a double murder. And they driving in the victim's car. Yeah, they stole the victim's car. And the crazy part about that, knowing that they just killed somebody, they took the victim's car and then tried to switch the license plates. Do you hear what I'm telling y'all? They tried to switch the license plates from the victim's car and put another car's license plates on the victim's car. Police pulled their ass over. I'm talking about instantly, because soon as they ran the tag number, they seen, hey look, this right here goes to a Cadillac. This right here is a Ford. Hey look, ain't nothing right. And not only that, with the help from the auntie, they already knew the play. So after the arrest, right, they take these boys to the county jail. And you know the homicide detectives, they licking their chops. They waiting on them, right? They understand. They got the auntie already putting them at the murder scene. The auntie, you know, already giving them evidence that they need. They get caught in the victim's car. They waiting on them. So when they get down there, they try to interview both of them. Demarius said, nah, he ain't doing no interviews. He ain't talking to the homicide detectives. But James, yeah, no, James, he wanted to talk. James sat down there in front of detectives and told them everything. Yeah, I killed both of them. Yeah, I'm the one that did this. I had the gun. We had to do that. And then after that, he started doing all these news interviews. It was almost like a news interrogation type demo, right? He started sitting down in front of multiple news channels down there in Texas and just got to telling everything. Yeah, talking crazy. Man, I'll do it again and they better kill me or else I'll continue to kill, all type of stuff. And that's when his cousin Demarius, then that's when he started confessing too, to the news. Hey, yeah, you know, it makes me wonder, was the news offering them a couple dollars or something? You know, it makes me wonder, like, what made them so freely to speak to the news down there in Texas? I know Texas got some hard jails, so I wonder if the news say, hey, look, man, you get with this interview, man, you know, we'll shoot you a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying? And they're starving like, shit, we need some money. I'm hungry in here. You see, I don't know. But now, April 30th, 2026, The state of Texas is planning to execute James. But hold on, wait a minute. It's just not that easy because some new things done happen. Check it out.
Attorneys for a death row inmate from North Texas say they now have the real killer's written confession and are demanding a new trial. James Broadnax is set to be executed next month for the 2008 murders of 2 Christian music producers in Garland. NBC5's Maria Guerrero is following the new developments.
I was the one who shot the 2 victims, not James. The confession just days ago, renewing hope James Broadnax's life may be spared.
That declaration actually matches with the forensic evidence that was presented at trial.
Demarius Cummings confessing he pulled the trigger, not his cousin Broadnax. The 2 convicted in the 2008 shooting death of music producers Stephen Swan and Matthew Butler in Garland. Broadnax is set to die by lethal injection on April 30th. Cummings, who's serving life in prison for the slayings, now claims he convinced his 19-year-old cousin to take the fall and lie to reporters in jailhouse interviews, including NBC5, because they were high on PCP.
You killed 2 young men now.
Better their life than mine.
Do you have any remorse? None whatsoever.
Do it look like it?
In a petition filed Wednesday in the Texas Criminal Court of Appeals, Cummings asserts he decided to come clean after his cousin's attorney informed him of the execution date, telling the courts, "I want to clear my conscience and do not want James to be executed for shooting 2 people when I was the one who committed those acts."
Why should people believe the cousin? Well, I mean, I think one possibility is, of course, to hear him as a witness.
Cornell law professor Sherry Johnson is a consultant on the case and says a new trial is also merited because of alleged violations involving prosecutors excluding jurors solely based on race and then using gangsta rap music written by Broadnax against him, violating his rights.
They thought that that would contribute to picturing Mr. Broadnax as a violent person and maybe even as a psychopath. Question is whether it's right to execute Mr. Broadnax when there is at the very least a huge amount of doubt that he was the shooter.
Maria Guerrero, NBC5.
The Dallas County District Attorney's Office tells NBC5 our office will do its due diligence and respond to the motion. NBC5 has not been able to connect with the victims' families, but at the time of Broadnax's trial, they supported the death penalty.
Yeah. The cousin done came out now and said, hey man, you know what? James ain't had nothing to do with nothing. It was all on me. I'm the one that killed them 2 people, not James. Even though before that though, he was pointing the finger at James too, his own cousin. Yeah, man, you know, he killed both of them. I just participated in the robbery, man. You know what I'm saying? I ran their pockets like he said, man. You know, but he was the one that killed both of them, right? But now that James is about to die and they want to give him the lethal injection, now all of a sudden his cousin is coming forward and saying, hey, man, hey, wait a minute. I'm the killer, right? Now, let me tell y'all something. I know a lot of people are probably, you know, sympathetic and stuff like that. And it's the whole thing is a sad situation because here it is, 4 people is finna lose their life. You see, 2 already done lost their life. One is probably finna lose his life on the 30th of April. And the other brother, Demarius, he finna lose his life just by sitting in the penitentiary until he die, right? So we got 4 people losing their life for $2 for a bad decision that some bad, you know, teenagers made. You see what I'm saying? Now, but now that this new evidence is coming out, because they're saying that, hey, look, check it out. You know, the DNA evidence that they got when they found the gun, there was no DNA evidence of James, but Demarius, right? But James did all the confession to the killings. So a lot of people might say, hey, you know what? There it is. But it just don't happen like that in the courtrooms, y'all. It don't happen like that. They already have James convicted for both of the murders as the one who has pulled the trigger. He's convicted. He's a proven killer according to court documents, right? And Demaryius is just a participator, right? According to court documents. So now that Demaryius is saying, hey, look, check this out. It didn't happen like that. I killed him. The courts don't look at it like that. Unless there is some tangible, irrefutable evidence proving that Demaryius killed those two Christian producers. And if they ain't got that, they gonna stick with what they do have, because it's on the books, right? And not only that, a jury of his peers convicted him, right? They gonna stick to that right there. So all that coming up with this confession and you know, this confession and you know what I'm saying, these affidavits and all that, it don't mean nothing, because this is how the state is going to look at it, y'all. They're going to say, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that y'all was lying in the beginning? That James didn't kill the two people, but Demaryius, you killed the two people. So y'all lied and y'all switched places, right? What makes us think now that y'all are not lying right now? Something that simple, just like that. And it's logical though, like, hey, you already lied before. What makes us think that you're not lying right now? And it's not like Demaryius can get the death penalty, because he's already convicted and he was already sentenced to life. So they can't come back and say, you know what, since you the one that did it, we're going to re-sentence you to death now. Oh, you did it, we're going to retry you. We're going to retry you for the same murder. They can't do that right there. That's called double jeopardy. You see? So they're going to stick with everything that they get right now. Watch what I tell y'all. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but they're going to stick with everything that they get right now unless they get some irrefutable evidence proving that Demaryius killed those two music producers. If not, ain't nothing finna change. Now, I'm not saying that they might not, you know, give James some relief and say, you know what, we're going to commute your death sentence and we're going to just give you life in prison. They can do that anytime they want to. The governor can do that anytime he want to. He can commute that death sentence and say, hey, you know what, we're going to just give you life. The governor can do that. But as far as changing the convictions, nah. The governor can change the sentence. He can't change those convictions unless he pardon them. Unless he pardon them. And I don't see that. I don't see nothing like that happening. So here it is. We got two young kids. I'm talking about just, hey, we finna go hit a lick. Now look at their life destroyed. Young men, young women. Lives are destroyed like this all the time. And let me explain to you young brothers and you young sisters why. Because you guys don't think far enough. You don't think about the circumstances. You just think about what you can get from the robbery or for whatever it is that you're doing. You just thinking about the monetary gain, the pleasure, right? The material gain. That's all you thinking about. You don't think about, hey, look, check this out. Y'all want to go rob somebody? Yeah, let's go rob somebody. What if we kill them? You see, y'all don't think that far. Or, you know, we going to go plan to rob somebody. What if the person that we're planning to rob kills us? You see, y'all don't think that far. You know, what if we do this robbery and we get away with the robbery, but then we get caught for the robbery, right? Y'all don't think that far. Y'all just think about, hey, we finna rob somebody, take their money, and then we're gonna go home, laugh about it, tell our friends about it, man, and that's it. It don't happen like that all the time. It don't happen like that all the time. So for you young brothers and you young sisters out there who ain't got nothing constructive to do with your time and you just want some excitement and you figure like, hey man, let's go rob some, let's go shoot some, let's go commit some crimes. Think about the circumstances. Think about the aftermath. Yeah. And once you think about the aftermath, that might deter you from doing the crime. Because a lot of y'all are sitting out here doing crimes and y'all don't know how much time these crimes carry. Yeah, good. Get in the law library. We want to go rob somebody and we're going to use a gun. Damn. 50 years? I'm cool on the robbery, bro. I'll pass on that. You see? Yeah, hey, we finna go snatch a purse, man. And what if we snatch a purse and the lady died from us? Damn, life. No, I'm cool on snatching purses. You see, the things that you do, you need to really think about them. And get the crime stuff out your mind. You young. You got time. Your life is not over. You got a bright future in front of you if you do the right thing. So here it is. Instead of thinking about some excitement and committing crimes and doing, something that's going to get you killed or get you life in the penitentiary, start thinking of constructive things to do. Man, what if I go get a vocation or something like that? What if I learn about this AI stuff? Let me look up and see if, they have any type of grants and stuff like that to put me in school so I can get a career up under my belt. You see what I'm saying? There's so many things that you young brothers and sisters can be doing, but you got to utilize them. And ain't nobody teaching you. So since ain't nobody teaching you, you got to teach yourself. Listen, don't accept the streets because the streets ain't got nothing for you. Even though the streets will accept you, you don't accept the streets. You see, because a lot of the times, we young and, we impressionable and the streets got an influence and a stronghold and we see everybody else making this stuff look like it's fun, it's good and they happy and all that. No, the streets is misery and they miserable. Everybody that's playing that street stuff, miserable. Don't let them fool you and think that it's all good. It's not all good. They miserable. And the streets don't give you nothing but pain, misery, and death. That's all they got to offer you. That's it. But you can sit back, since ain't nobody teaching you, you can teach yourself. Google. Listen, when I came home from the penitentiary, Google was my best friend. Anything I needed to know about anything, I asked Google. Hey Google, is there any, scholarships or any type of, government, payments or any type of government things that I can utilize to help me get a better job, to help me, establish a career? And I found out all type of stuff that nobody taught me. Is there any programs around here in my area that could help me get a job, help me get a career, help me get into college? You see what I'm saying? Simple. Just the simple stuff that you like or that you wouldn't mind doing. Say if you say, I want to get into construction. Google, how do I get into construction? I don't know nothing about it. I don't got no money or nothing. Is there any government programs? Any private programs that can put me into these programs? Look, y'all, use Google. And if you don't want to use Google, use YouTube. YouTube will teach you a lot too, since nobody don't want to teach you nothing. You see? So look, instead of doing all that madness and all that planning for madness and all that planning to get yourself sent to the penitentiary and all that planning to get yourself killed or to kill somebody, plan for life. Plan for success. Plan for your future. And it's all at your fingertips. You just got to utilize it. This is Hood Educated, not Lane Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.